Alright, so today we're going to be learning how to wheelie. Step 1, go find some grass. My grass is a little bit full. I hope it isn't like this for you guys. I decided to come try to make this video on Easter, so it's a little bit more full than usual, but oh my god, look how many people are here. There's everybody. Oh, it's an electric go-kart. That thing's so cool.
I like the motorcycle.
Thank you. Alright, now that we made it over to the grass, all we need to do is learn the basics of the bike. So let's get on our bike. Let's not go anywhere yet. But I do want to focus on this is the brake, the left side is your brake, the right side is your front brake. We don't need to touch the front brake at all. We just need to worry about our rear brake. What I like to do, just to get started, obviously if you haven't ridden your bike yet, don't try to wheelie. But first, ride your bike around a little bit, get a feel for it, get a feel for the response of your throttle, and that's going to make everything super smooth. Alright, now that we're comfortable with our bike, step 2, finger on the brake. Let's keep our finger on the brake and just get used to popping it up. I like to start mine in eco mode. Get comfortable popping it up just a little bit. And once you pop it up just a little bit, I literally mean just a little bit, let off that throttle to where you're coming back down on its own. We don't want to get to balance point right away just yet. We're still learning. So let's cover that rear brake. Let's pop it up and just squeeze the rear brake. It's going to feel super weird. It's going to feel super unnatural. But what you want to do is you want to just pop it up just a little bit. Like I keep saying, just pop it up, rear brake, and just go down. That's all you want to do. Just up, rear brake. Look at my finger. Up, rear brake. Once you get that down, it's going to become muscle memory that you're coming up, you're going to hit that rear brake. It's just how I learned. I wish somebody would have taught me this, but like I said, just up, rear brake every single time. Step 3, learning that pumping motion. So once you've practiced using that rear brake, we're going to ride around a little bit more. We're going to kind of get some speed to it. Okay. Now what you might notice is you're getting some speed and you twist that throttle and that front wheel isn't coming up at all. So what you need to do is you need to push into those front forks. That way they compress, and then you're lifting up. That way they're decompressing, and it helps you get that pop. At the same time, you're leaning in, pulling back, twisting the throttle, and it's going to come up naturally. And it's going to bring you to that balance point. That's when you're going to hit that rear brake, and it'll help you out. So let's give that a try. All right, I'm going to come right at you guys so you can see. All right, so if I start here, and if I just give it throttle, it's not going to come off the ground. But if I practice that pump motion, pushing in, and then as I'm coming up, I'm leaning back, twisting the throttle, and then once it comes up, I'm going to squeeze that rear brake right away because we're still practicing. So let's practice. Ready? See, it came up that time. So if it comes up at you, don't get scared. Just remember, finger on the rear brake at all time, squeeze. I'm going to keep saying brake, 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 brake all this video. That is the single most important thing. Anybody else tells you otherwise, they're wrong. Step 4, go up and down using that rear brake. All right. Let's work all these processes together so we can get a feel of exactly what it'll be like. Go slow. Start to stop first. Okay. Get a feel for your throttle. You can see there's a little bit of dead space in the beginning, so find that point where it'll activate as soon as you twist. Compress in, and then as you're coming up, giving it that throttle and pulling back. You see my arms? They almost become fully locked. Okay. So when I pull back, rear brake, go up, rear brake, okay, go up, rear brake, go up, rear brake. Practice that for a while until you get comfortable. Once you're past that point, I recommend if you want to put it up into sport, you can, just as long as you're comfortable. When I learned, I kept one foot down. You can put both down, kind of sit in the back of your seat and go. And then you'll see I was able to go for a little while longer. I positioned my body weight backwards so that way the front can lift up easier because my weight's in the back. Doing this, you'll feel safe because you have both your feet on the ground or they're kind of just dragging. Right? And then just use that rear brake. You feel like you're coming up too high, rear brake. After that, let's try to get up to that balance point just by giving it a little bit more throttle, you'll start working your way up higher. And then just use that rear brake every time. Step 5, seat time. You need to keep practicing. I'm not really going to count this as a step, but I do want to go over that you should be recording yourself when you're doing this. This is going to help you see how far you're actually coming up off the ground. It's going to show you how much you're using that rear brake, and it's just going to help you figure out what you're doing wrong so you can do what you need to do right. Step 6, balance point. What I want you guys to do is get on your bike. By now, you should feel confident enough in how your throttle feels to be able to get it up like this, okay? What I want you to do is just hold it right here, okay? Just see what it feels like when it balances. Look, no brake, nothing. Check this out. It kind of just holds here by itself, okay? This is where your bike is gonna be when you're doing a wheelie. So if you can, now hold that rear brake, get on it, and just kind of use your throttle to sit there at balance point and see what it feels like. This is going to help you know what it feels like so you're not scared when it does come to that point. You're like, oh crap, I'm going back. How you can hit that rear brake and watch this. Hit the rear brake, it's going to go back down. The only downside I have about learning in the nice open grass field is that when you're trying to learn how to get up there and balance point and you're trying to balance, this grass is super uneven. There's a whole bunch of hidden little divots. It might make you fall over. Don't get discouraged, but it could. Luckily you're in grass. What I'm trying to get at here is once you learn your brake, that's what the purpose of this grass is for. Once you get it up and you hit that brake, you're gonna want to start going to the cement, a safe place to where you can learn how to actually balance and get it up better. So let's move on to somewhere else where we can see what balance point looks like. Step 7, I know I already said this, but seat time. You have to get your seat time in. You're not just gonna learn it one day unless you're somebody like Hector Buendia. He said he learned it in a day. I don't know if I believe it, but that's him. He's pretty crazy. You have to take your time with this. If you guys have some pads, I would definitely put them on. Still be in the grass, it definitely helps. But now we're gonna get some POV footage of working all these processes together so we can learn how to wheelie, and that'll be the last step. All right guys, so I feel like I found us a pretty good spot. I've got a pretty private strip here, not a lot of cars coming through here. So what I want us to do on this road, now that we're comfortable using that rear brake, we've already practiced bringing it up and then hitting that rear brake and it's coming down right away. We're gonna build up a little bit of momentum. We're gonna practice our arm pumping motion to get it up and then bringing it up to that balance point, and then we won't have to use any rear brake until we start falling back. Once you start falling back, that's when you'll actually need to use a rear brake. I'll show you what power wheeling looks like, and then I'll show you what actually wheeling looks like. So I'm gonna get a little bit of run up for you guys here. So I'm going about 6 miles an hour. I'm gonna compress my front forks and then I'll pull up and it brings it up, okay? I didn't have to use any rear brake right there whatsoever because I wasn't far back enough. When you guys are far back enough, that's when you realize, oh shoot, and then you're gonna pull that rear brake. Let's try that again. Let's get it up far this time. That way we can get under balance point and we can use that rear brake. So I'll pump, pull, lean back, and then I lean back and I have to use my rear brake. You can see on my left hand I'm using my rear brake because I'm far, far, far back. I'll come back the other way so you guys see it that way as well. Look, I'm using the rear brake, I'm pretty far back. This is what a power wheelie looks like. You're not using the rear brake at all. You're not barely even pumping up, and you'll just be chasing it like this. Now, while that may look cool, it's really not that cool. People don't, the girls might think they're cool because to them, you just got one wheelie up, but for the boys, you're gonna wanna drop it back. A slow, controlled wheelie makes all the difference. Show you guys what that looks like again. So, pull back up, and then using the rear brake, I'm falling back, you see? That'll make all the difference, I promise. So now that we've seen the difference, let's go ahead and apply everything we've done. Again, this is all about seat time. You guys have to get seat time in. I'm going to compress my front forks, see how they're compressing, and then I need to lean back and pull up and give it some throttle. And then I lean back far enough to where I will need the rear brake. I'll do a little drive-by for you guys. Come up. I'm coasting, rear brake. Compress, pull, and it's all about timing too. You have to give it the right timing. When you're giving it that throttle, you should be, see how I'm giving the throttle as soon as I'm pulling up. Okay, I'm not, okay, ready, and then throttle, and then go. No, it doesn't sync. You're giving it the throttle, and you're releasing the weight off the front to the back. That way the wheel comes up super easy. You don't have to give it the whole throttle, right? So let's do it, ready? Boom. Circle wheelies help a lot with brake control, because it teaches you really fast, because you're not going fast, it's low risk, and you've been up high enough, and you'll have to hit the rear brake. And if you fall over, what? You don't even fall over, the bike falls over, right? So that really helps with throttle and brake control, because it teaches me here, coming up, and then I have to give it the brake. Throttle, brake, 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 throttle, throttle, brake, throttle, brake. I'll give you guys a tip that helped me as well. As you just heard, I was saying everything out loud. I don't do that anymore, but when I was learning, I was saying it every time. Before I would even go up in a wheel, I'm like, remember the brake, remember the brake, remember the brake. I would say it over and over and over again until it was really drilled in my brain. That rear brake is gonna save you so many times. I've looped out before, it hurt so bad. So let's practice again. Compress, throttle and lift at the same time, and then brake. Compress, as you pulling up, giving it that throttle, you're gonna feel how much you need to give. There you go, throttle. Not even braking yet, because it's just kind of falling forward. All right, this video is gonna be a lot of practice. You're gonna see exactly what you're gonna be doing here in a few minutes, hopefully, when you go out on your bike. So let's do this again. Right? Throttle, throttle. Past the balance point, brake, throttle, brake, throttle, brake, throttle, brake, throttle, throttle, brake, throttle, brake, throttle, brake. Hopefully with this, you guys can see when I'm falling backwards. All right, you guys, hopefully this video helped you guys figure out the steps that are needed to figure out how to wheelie. I hope you guys get out there and actually give it a go. If you guys do, tag me in a post. If you guys make that video, tag me in the post. I'll be sure to comment. I'll be sure to look at it. And if I see anything that I think you can improve on, I'll make sure to give you guys that help. All right, and thank you guys so much for watching. See you guys in the next one. Guys, we gotta stop. 0. That's how you wheelie.